This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hey, I was at a football event last Friday and just catching up with a few guys I either played with or played against.
Oh, good old days.
And you throw out those, what are these people up to in particular, but
like catching up.
Yeah, catching up, but...
Thanks for explaining it.
Well, it was more so to do with guys I used to play against. And this is one
catching
guy
up with old friends.
that I kind of know. I've known him for a while, but when they play with the opposition, they're enemies.
Sure.
But I knew that he's been living overseas for quite some time in Indonesia and moving around
And
the
that's
islands.
your dream?
Yeah, that would be amazing. So I was
you live here.
just talking to a mate about what that person's been up to, and they were telling me about how... this guy that we had a long-term relationship.
Sean's trying to keep the details out, but I fear that you might have given too many already.
Okay, well, that's all right. I'll leave the name out of it. But he'd been in a long-term relationship, but one of the deals was he had an international girlfriend, and then she had to keep leaving Indonesia
to do
for
an
a visa.
international girlfriend thing.
For visa reasons.
Visas,
yeah.
She would do that on a regular basis, and also she would just go home every now and then for a longer stay to visit her family back in Europe. So that was fine.
Yeah.
Until he got a phone call from some random guy who just said, you don't know me? My name is Mike. And I've just found out some information that you might want to hear, but you're not going to like it.
Okay.
So then he went on to say that he has been seeing...
I thought it was going to be your Netflix payments have gone up.
Oh, that would hurt.
Yeah.
$17.99.
It's ridiculous.
Is it 21 these
Anyway,
days? I think I paid 21.
I feel that you've wandered from the story.
Sorry.
Go back to where
It's
you
easy
were.
to throw me off. So this guy says, you're not going to like this, but here it is. I've been seeing this girl
Same girl.
it was well over 6 months.
Oh.
But... the reason why he's making the call is because this girl had been seeing someone else.
Oh,
So first of all, he found out this chick had been seeing someone else.
Cheating lasagna.
A third person. And he was heartbroken because
Yes, he thought
she'd
they
been
had
cheated
something,
on.
yes.
Then he found out that the reality was she's had a long-term partner
Yes.
who's been in Indonesia.
So he thought he'd been cheated on, but he didn't realise he was actually a cheater because she was with someone before
Yes.
him, but then there was someone after him. Give me the spans of time. So he was with her for 6 months, the middle cheater.
Yeah.
The original, your friend.
I think a couple of years.
And the newest one would be in probably
I think it's a short-term thing. But so... the guy my friend, he was absolutely knocked off his chair. But the main thing was he was absolutely rapt that he actually received that phone call. Because the guy first said, you're not going to like what I'm going to hear. This can be hard to swallow. But if you don't get that call because someone never passes that information on.
It's a courageous call to make because you're like, do I get involved or not? Or I just break it off with her and move on.
Yeah.
No.
But you get angry at that
And he
person who's
doesn't
giving
know
you a
him.
call.
There's no bro code there.
He doesn't know him. And this guy didn't live in Indonesia where he lived anyway.
So he had to make a bit of effort to find him.
Yeah.
Well, there's not only three. There's not only three. If she has built this around the world, that's the three that have found out.
Yes.
I wonder where
many
this
can you
human
have?
centipede ends.
How many can you have on the run?
So busy.
How many have you had on the run at any one time, Nat?
One.
Yeah, but
And even that's a struggle, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but that's an official way, and that's how Natalie treats her clients. She's not one of those places, Sean.
Would you feel comfortable making that call?
Making the call is the tough thing.
look,
I don't
receiving
know.
it.
I think I would just stay out of it, personally.
Look, if I didn't have any real affiliations with them in my day-to-day life, probably.
Yeah.
If it was a relationship that I was ready to say goodbye to, because that's a lot of the times that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, that phone call is super important. And to be honest,
it's the right thing to do.
It is important,
but it's a really hard
I watched
thing to
a
do.
video a while back, same situation. This chick found out that she was dating a guy and then found out that she was the person that he was cheating with.
Yeah, she was the
So
side piece.
she rocked around to the house and as everyone does, they record it. But she had her phone up, and then as soon as the woman answered the door, she said in the interview afterwards something about the woman's demeanour made her drop her phone so that all you can hear is the audio.
Yeah.
And she told the woman, look, I'm sorry, I actually was cheating with your husband and didn't know it.
No.
In your house here.
Yeah.
I came here and none of your photos are around and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I found out that you're with him, and this woman broke down and she was consoling her. It's a full-on thing to do. It's a full-on thing to do. And I wonder if guys are brave enough to share these stories, because whenever we do topics like this, it's very much female-led, which means that guys
It
are
is.
bastards. But yet we know that there are equally amount of terrible women out there doing it the same thing.
Well, I think that some guys are really reluctant to share those stories.
Yeah.
Like that story.
Being cheated on isn't something that you did. It's been done to you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that
So you
phone
hold
call.
no shame. Let's go to Owen. Hi, Owen.
Hey, guys,
Owen.
how's it going?
Yeah,
Good,
good, buddy.
Owen.
All right,
Okay.
Owen. So has this happened to you, Owen?
Yeah, so years ago when I was living in Tassie, I lived in Beaconsfield, little country town,
Yep.
and actually, met someone online, blah, blah, blah. They used to come down from Smithton. It's, almost 4 hours drive.
Yeah.
And, one thing led to another. We end up dating. We were together for almost a year, and I decided, you know what, I've never been to their hometown. So made the trek, for our drive up to them. And everyone was in shock. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's a shock that, I drove up there and whatnot. And we were just at a supermarket, and the supermarket attendant wrote someone's address on the back of my receipt, and she said, I think you need to go speak to this person.
This
and,
is the
looked
best.
at my partner. I was like,
Yes.
okay, that's a bit sus, but, I come from a small country town, so I was like, I'll take the hint.
Yeah.
So while my partner went to work, I went and knocked on this door, and I said, hi, I got told I need to speak to you about such and such. And they were like, yeah. I'm like, what's the go? And they're like, well, they're my fiancé. I was like, okay.
Whoa, Owen.
Don't mind me asking, how long have you been together for? And they're like, coming on 4 years. I was like, cool. Righto. I'm like, well, we've been together a year. And they just looked at me and they're like, sorry. I'm like, and they invited me in. They were a little bit shocked. They went bright red, near, like shaking angry. But then they're like, look, I'm sorry. I said, look, scream, shout, do what you need to do. And they were like, are you sure? Like, and they said, you're not just, his mate joking. I said, well, here's the text messages. Feel free to have a read through. I've got nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. I said, I'm sorry. I have nothing to hide. I said, but, you deserve to know the truth. And to this day, me and that person are still friends, even though, I live in WA. They're still back in Tassie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we then later on found out that his best friend was also another side piece that was just someone there for when he was bored.
How many sides do you need with a main, really?
And also in a small country town.
So this is the thing.
Yeah.
I want to break this down. She takes you home to where she lives fully. I mean, she would have to have
Was it
been
a he?
trying to.
He.
Hey.
No.
So
They didn't take me home to where they live. I
Okay.
rocked up.
You
and
went
it
to
was a
visit.
surprise.
Okay, I was going to
Yes.
surprise. I drive
Yeah.
5, so
Yeah.
that was a shock.
Yeah.
So when they found out that you had rocked on the town, did you sense panic from them?
When I seen his parents were like, oh, so this is your friend from Beaconsfield, and
Yep.
I'm like, partner, but okay, because naturally,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
town,
Yep.
being a gay couple,
Yes.
small country town, I thought, oh yeah, friends. Like I'm used to that. I'm used to that term being thrown around, like cat in a sack.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like when that shop, and it was a shop like I think it was like a small IGA or
Yeah.
a small Woolies or something. I can't remember what they had at the time.
Yeah.
They wrote it down, and actually being a small, mining town.
It sounds like
also,
it would have been the good grocer. They do good things.
Yeah. Oh no, we don't have that in Tassie.
Yeah. So they're not that fancy.
It definitely wasn't the good grocer.
No.
Yeah.
But this is
Owen.
when he's invited you in to their house. Was it weird for you to suddenly were you spotting photos of them around and realizing wait there's a life here?
So when I went at the parents' house, because that's the address I knew.
Okay, yeah.
There wasn't a lot of photos of my partner.
Yeah.
Because they'd moved out years ago. But when I went to the fiancé's house, there was photos of them with their friends.
So a fully
there was
established
pets
life together.
and,
Yeah.
all that. And I was like, wow. It was surreal, and I sort of took a step back, and I was like, okay, cool. Because you hear about it, you read about it, and it's like, okay, don't overreact because you're feeling a certain way about this. And in my mind, I'm like, well, we've only been together a year.
Yeah.
The person sitting in front of me that's crying in anger.
Oh.
Yeah, but
That's
that
a
anger could be
4 year.
taken out on you.
Yeah,
Owen.
I know.
So
exactly.
I know we've got to get to news, but we've got to get to the end of this. So you've dropped this bombshell. What happened next with the partner? Did they come? What happened next?
So they were due to get home around 5:30 back to their parents' house.
Yeah.
And we both rocked up at the parents' house and just sat there in the living room waiting.
Oh.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Nathan's gone home. He's got the NBN guys coming. It's a whole thing. But we have a man sitting in his seat.
No, really?
Really. Merrick Watts, welcome back.
Hey, Merrick. Yeah, oh, thanks, guys. That's me clapping.
The crowd's gone wild.
That is me clapping on my own.
You look amazing, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so Nathan and Nat, both being single people, they've had...
We don't have wives at home to wait for tradesmen.
Yeah.
So I had a dryer being delivered, and you know how they give you a window? And I'm like, I have most of the day free. Surely the dryer's going to come in the afternoon. No, 7:35 to 10:35.
What a dumb company. You wanted a dryer and they gave you a window?
Yes.
Like, it's very clearly, I want a dryer. Bad. Sorry. Sorry, it's Father's Day on Sunday, and I've opened up the toolkit there, so you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So Nathan's getting his NBN done at some stage this morning, but they kicked off.
Is that a type of hairstyle? Is that where they bleach his hair? He's getting his NBN done?
Yeah, shaves at the back.
Good on him.
It's good to have you back,
It's
Merrick.
great to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
What's been going on? So you're here doing some shows.
Yes.
Shall we'll get the plugs out of the way first. What do you reckon?
Painful.
Sorry.
Shows at the Record Bite, An Idiot's Guide to Wine, Volume 2, whatever, sold out shows, whatever.
Moshchicks.com.au, but selling fast. Most of the shows sold out.
Tonight sold out. Tomorrow night sold out. There are some tickets for the matinee at 2 p.m. That's the best time to go drinking, by the way.
Absolutely.
Day drinking's amazing. Last time I was here in Perth, I did a show. It was sold out. It was 12 p.m. at the Record Bite, completely sold out. We started the show at 11:55. What are you doing, Perth? Like, there's people with coffee in their hands. I go, are you all right? And they're going, no, I'm ready to roll into this drinking thing. Let's do it. Go, Perth. This is great.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, it's close enough.
That's it. By 4 p.m, I was throwing a bin through a window on Northbridge. It was a good time.
That's
Same
the
old,
perfect thing
same
to
old.
do. Mate, you look amazing. So you've come in here with a suit, and when we saw you on the video cameras, we didn't know who was coming in.
It's James Bond. That's what you
We
thought.
thought it was one of our senior executives had flown in from Sydney to fire somebody.
As if they dress this well. As if they can afford this suit. They can't, because I took all the money from Nova years ago. It's not left.
Yeah, you know what?
Russell and I took it all.
We're still feeling that.
You know what? We've been feeling so lately. When we had our mid-season break, Nat went up to Vietnam. She got all these wonderful clothes, right? And she's bringing it all the time, every day. Now you're bringing it. The only thing I could muster last week was I went and bought this jumper for $80. I got 20% off.
That's good. No, that's a good looking jumper. What is it? What does it say, Florence?
Florence.
It's good.
John.
What's John? Is John
Florence?
But it was on sale, so I thought, okay, I'll try to lift to Natalie's level.
So you bought it because it was on sale. I'll just give you my mum's phone number, and you guys can chat about buying things on sale. Mum would love to.
So to be clear, this grey hoodie is you lifting?
Yeah, I thought it was an opportunity to lift, and this is the level I've got to at this point in time.
Nah, mate, you're right. I think you're doing okay. Nat, you're very well dressed.
Thank you.
You've turned out very nicely today.
Thank you.
And all these years of Breakfast Radio at this level too, working at this and such a high rating show for so many years, and you don't look like you're burnt out. Like you can.
No, I am.
I mean, Sean is.
I just don't look like
it. You're doing a great job.
No mirrors at my house, mate. I can tell you.
I can see. That's evident. Absolutely evident.
Because you're an example of what life can be like post breakfast radio.
Well, I still do breakfast radio hours. I still wake up at I was up at 4 this morning.
See, this mystifies me. That given the choice, you are still doing this. Is this what SAS Australia did to you?
100%. It damaged me mentally in so many ways. Like everyone goes, wow, you've really benefited. You've become a real weapon. I'd like to be asleep now if it's possible, but I can't.
Are you just constantly terrified someone's going to throw a bag over your head and berate you?
It's constant. When I came off SAS Australia, this is absolutely true, right? So I was on 2 weeks on the show. If you haven't seen it, it's brutal. Anyway, after 2 weeks of being on the show, I came home, and every single night for a week, I would wake up at least 4 times in fright, pouring with sweat, waiting for somebody to kick down the door and come into the room. It took a week and a million prescribed drugs from the doctors to bring me down, because I was like a rogue rhino there for a while. But then again, I was like that before I went on the show. So I don't know. I just need to be sedated.
To be fair, you made it all the way through. So you fulfilled that.
I didn't make it all the way through. I won it.
Barely mentioned it.
What semantics.
So, Mary, when you got up this morning, did you put the wheels on and go for a run or something?
I went to the gym this morning, but I'm going to go and do a park run tomorrow, I reckon. I'm going to have a crack at a park run here in Perth. Yeah, I want to get out there and have a little bit of a trot.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm going to head down to Freo, I think, and have a look around and go see some friends, catch up with some people.
They do a park run in Freo down at South Beach? You could do it there.
It's a great spot. So, out and about, getting active. So I usually exercise in the morning, a bit of meditation, do that work. It's good for your brain.
Yeah, I know. I've been reading a lot about about it. The
Sean
breath
could
work
do
and
with
stuff
that.
like that.
Sean
You
could
gotta
do with that.
You got to have the patience, though.
No, I don't have the patience. I just pretend I do because if I say I meditate to people, they just go, "Wow, he's really switched on."
Do you do speed
Because otherwise people
meditating?
just go,
Like-
speed meditating. I never do speed and meditate. Never. No. I mean, I'll go out to a party
It's
or something,
it's
sure, but not
efficient.
meditating. It seems counterintuitive.
Gets it over and done with faster.
I haven't even had a coffee this morning. This is what I'm like. I know.
Far out.
This is. Wait till I'm going
mind-boggling.
to go and have like a double espresso after this, and then I'll probably, I don't know, take a rocket ship to the moon.
We had an astronaut in earlier, so yeah.
We did actually.
Stop
Cover that
bragging.
off.
Stop bragging. I know. I saw the moonscape behind me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that for me? No, it's not for you. It's for an astronaut. Somebody who benefits the community. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about wine, that benefits the community.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We are talking about when you hire somebody to do a job for you, but the job they do for you is so bad. Do you pay them or not? We heard a couple of stories
Oh, my gosh.
of people that
Oh, a
did
couple of
pay them.
rippers.
Yeah. Here's an idea for any removalists. If you need to get a couch out, don't scare the person that hired you by pulling a chainsaw and cutting it in half in their living room.
I'm just going to put it out there. Don't take your chainsaw to a moving job.
Don't
wouldn't
take your
have
chainsaw.
Claire's in Southern River. Good morning, Claire.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, morning, hey.
Hey, Claire.
Okay, so what did you hire somebody to do and what happened?
Cleaning for a rental that we had. So before we've had to do cleaning, it has taken us so long. It's just a pain, and then we have to go back and redo it. So anyway, this was our very last rental because we were moving into our own home finally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we thought, we'll pay somebody. And it's usually about $1,000 is the going rate. But
For
my
a
husband did all his
vacate
research.
clean. Wow.
Yeah. And he was like, no, there's this one for $800. Like, this is great. We're saving ourselves $200. So we're like, okay, cool. Anyway, as part of it, they were cleaning the walls, and they sent us a message during the day saying, hey, we've only cleaned 60% of the walls because the paint's coming off.
Oh, did they clean it with?
Claire.
Yeah, we were like, no way, please, no. Okay, we'll go and check it. My husband was at work, so I went over to check.
Yeah.
And they had been cleaning the walls with oven cleaner and bleach.
Oh, God,
Claire.
Well, if it works good in the oven, they thought the walls would
that's
do a
right.
trick on the
It
walls.
was so bad. And it was two guys, and I was a bit intimidated, so I called my husband. I said, hey, you should come and have a look. And he had a look, and he said, no, this isn't good enough. And the cleaner was just like, don't call my manager. Don't call him. Please let me fix it. Please let me fix it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we gave them another chance to fix it, and they
Yep.
were there at the property for about 16 hours, and it was still not good enough. Anyway, we ended up having to pay because the manager was pretty scary, and then we had to go back there and fix it and repaint the walls off.
You guys
So
did.
wait, sorry, I just want to slow back down. When they said, please let us fix it, and you said it took 16 hours, what were they doing to try and fix it?
I do not know, but do you know what? I was really judgy because when I got there, I just thought, what have you been doing already for 10 hours?
Yes.
And there was outside the back, there was like a big box of Coles samosas and like 2 little stools and some drinks.
Samosas. What do they have, an air fryer? They just go for it.
He was like, Claire, don't be judgy, don't be judgy. I'll come over. I'm sure it's not that bad. And then he was like, no, you're right. That is
There's a giant box of Coles samosas, does it for me out the
Yeah,
back.
they took a trip to Costco.
Hey, Claire, what was scary about the boss paying this?
Yeah, why did you pay him? How scary
he
was
was just, I don't know. Well, it was the fact that how they responded when we said, no, we're just calling
Yeah.
your manager now. And he was going, no, please, just call me, please. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
And then he was pretty
Just needed
abrupt.
another round of samosas.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But it was so expensive for us because we had then moved into our home and we
Yeah.
were paying mortgage and then also
yeah, of
rent.
course.
Yes.
And we needed to fix it so that they could just get a new tenant
Yeah.
in. So
I can tell you, some of
that's a
these
horrible scenario.
exit cleans are a rort.
Yeah.
A lot of real estate agents out there, I'm not going to say not all of them, but there is a fair few, they've got an agreement with a
Yes.
certain cleaning company that they get a kickback on.
Yeah.
So then if you don't get your place did an exit clean by them, they fail it.
Yeah.
And then they say, they
send
haven't
ours
we'll
in.
send
Yeah.
ours in. So yeah, it's a bit of
double dipping.
a rort.
Tim's in Bull Creek. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good
Hey,
Timmy.
Tim. Who did you hire and how bad a job did they do? And then did you pay them?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago we had a leak in our pool. So we found this guy and got him out and just walked in with a Woolworths bag. Sort of thought, what's going on here? So he's gone out the back and I've walked in and my partner's got this really puzzled look on her face and he stripped down to his underwear.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's jumped in the pool and he's just like swimming around the pool in his underwear, duck diving. It's hilarious. And he didn't fix the leak either.
Did he just come over for a dip and leave?
Yeah.
In his jocks.
Came around with his towel.
Yeah, the bad news is he took a leak in your pool.
Did you get a bill? Did you get a bill for that?
Yes.
How much does he charge for that service?
It's about $400.
So before we find out if he paid it or not, was he basically diving under and then like using Tarzan grip or something to try or sell his?
Was he looking for the leak?
Yeah, he was. I think he was.
Okay, so what did you pay? Did you pay him?
Yeah, we paid him.
You paid him
Tim!
What's with the plastic bag?
for his wet for his wet jock, Sean.
And his tools, maybe. I'm not sure.
They use a dye to see where it leaks through the cracks, like a coloured dye in the pool. And
So that
you're
was
saying
that was in
a
his
plastic
bag.
that's all he had.
In his Coles bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Tim.
Have you had the experience at one of your mum's 8 pools at her house?
Harry used to work at a pool shop.
Yeah, I'm the pool expert. Remember the resident pool
He's
expert.
the pool guy, and he's got the mustache to prove it.
Yes, he has.
Christine's in the age of up. Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Great,
Christine.
Christine. Okay, talk to us about who you hired and how bad a job they did.
Yeah, quite a few years ago, I moved into a brand new house, sparkling clean. No one's ever lived in it before. And we hired a electrician type person to put in some mobile data type cabling.
Yep.
Drilled this great big huge drill through our study, and it went, and I could hear this, the concrete sound, and then all of a sudden this sharp pinging sound. And I'm trying to tell him, stop, but he's like, no, and he kept going, and he was actually drilling through my tiles in the ensuite.
Christine.
That's a bit of a peephole into the bathroom, eh?
And right in the shower too.
There goes
So
your
when I tried
waterproofing.
to tell him and say, this is going to cost you a lot of money, he's like, oh yeah, you'll have to get yourself a tiler to fix it. And I'm like, what? No, you're going to fix it. So he started having a fight with me about it.
No.
Finally, his dad, who owned the company, came round and had a look at it and said, yeah, no, that's true. No, we'll fix it. But the thing was, he actually did the job with his friend, and while he was waiting for his dad to come, he couldn't start his car. So they were stuck at the front of our house.
Just sitting there.
Waiting for the
After
for the
installing
boss to
a
come.
glory hole in your bloody shower. To be honest, is what they did.
It's quite a feature.
And I thought, I'm not even going to offer you any drinks or anything. You can stay out there in the sun and cool.
Amazing. Thanks, Christine.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.